do you know that this is the last major rally of my leadership campaign? We have had 80 of these rallies with a total of 93,000 people who have RSVP'd right across the country. Isn't that incredible? 10 provinces. Over 6 months. Over 6 months. I've been on the road from coast to coast to coast to coast, all 10 provinces in countless hamlets, villages, and towns. It's been an emotional experience for me. A long distance from my family, meeting a lot of you. And I want to speak to all the people who've come to my rallies. You know, I have a policy. At every rally, I have a lineup. And I invite every single person who comes to shake my hand. Sometimes we've stayed till 1 in the morning, so that not a single person leaves without having a chance to have their say. And you've told me your stories. Some of them have been hilarious. Some have been long. Some of them have been painful and told behind a shower of tears. I have met a woman who lost her 2 children to opioid overdoses. Can you imagine losing 2 sons, her only 2 sons? I've met elderly widows who can no longer pay their bills and wonder how they will ever be able to live out their days. I have met that immigrant who came here for a better life and is banned from working in his job. I have met a miner in Timmins who could not afford the $2.50 a liter diesel to drive all the way over to Thunder Bay to see his dying parents one last time. I have met the energy worker in St. John's, Newfoundland, who tapes up his boots because he cannot afford new ones. I have met countless young people stuck in 400 square foot apartments. Even though they did everything that we asked them to do, they earned their degree, they worked hard, and they gave their best. And I have seen again and again that as people speak up, the government cracks down, leaving people feeling bullied and powerless in their own country, which they no longer recognize. I have seen not anger, but I have seen pain. There are people in this country who are just hanging on by a thread. But you know what else I have seen? I have seen hope. I have seen hope from people who believe there's a chance to take our country back and put themselves back in charge of their lives. Hope that there's nothing wrong with this country that cannot be fixed by what is right with this country. Hope that this democracy of ours belongs to every single one of us, that we can transform this again from an aristocracy back to a meritocracy. You know, when I was a kid, I was adopted from a 16-year-old unwed mother whose mother herself had just died. And my 2 parents were school teachers who adopted me and taught me that it didn't matter where I came from. It mattered where I was going. It didn't matter who I knew. It mattered what I could do. That's the Canada we're bringing back. And so, while it has hurt me to be away from my children throughout this race, it is for their future and for the future of your children and your grandchildren that we can rekindle that hope, that we can bring back the Canada that gives everybody the opportunity to get ahead through their own hard work, that in the words of the great Canadian Prime Minister John Diefenbaker, I am a Canadian, a free Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to stand for what I think right, free to oppose what I believe wrong, free to worship God in my own way, free to choose those who shall govern my country. It is this heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and for all of mankind. Thank you very much.
All right, that's the last rally. 6 months of this, 93,000 people RSVP'd, something like 78 events. And this is it, here in Vancouver. It's been one hell of a journey. And it's the end of the beginning, but nowhere near the beginning of the end. Stay tuned.